Welcome to Poetry Out Loud State Finals for the state of Maine 2026. My name is Amy Hausman. I'm the Executive Director of the Maine Arts Commission, and we are really pleased to be able to present this event here today at the beautiful Waterville Opera House. We love being here. What an incredible privilege it is to gather in this space to celebrate the power of poetry and the remarkable students who will bring these words and the poems to life. The Maine Arts Commission is honored to present this program this year and every year, and we're so glad that all of you are here with us from all corners of our beautiful state. I want to take a moment to thank Maya Williams, who has served as our Poetry Out Loud coordinator. I'd love to give a round of applause to Maya. I can't quite see her from this awesome, but I know she's here. She's back there. Okay, good. Wonderful. And I'd also like to introduce our very wonderful MC today for this evening, Violet Ferlito. Violet is a multidisciplinary artist currently focusing on writing and performance art that centers her experience as a queer and trans woman through an explicitly anti-fascist lens. She's appeared across Maine in collaboration with organizations and theaters such as the Brazen Bandits, MEEA, 2 Cent Theater, and many more. Beyond her work as an artist, Violet has practiced a variety of combat sports for over a decade, and she's an avid gamer. And I'm going to bring Violet out in just a moment. But first, I want to tell you a little bit about this event. This marks the 21st year of Poetry Out Loud, a program created by the National Endowment for the Arts, a federal agency based in Washington, D.C. Since 2005, when this program started, more than 4.5 million high school students have participated across the country in this transformative experience, building public speaking skills, confidence, and a deep appreciation for poets and poetry. Tonight's recitations come from the NEA's Poetry Out Loud anthology. Each student carefully selected their poems, and they've been working tirelessly to perfect the performances that you will see and hear this evening. Our 10 finalists tonight have advanced through classroom competitions, school-wide contests, and regional semifinals in Presque Isle, Lewiston, and Brewer. Their dedication, courage, and hard work are so inspiring, and you are going to be amazed by this wonderful evening. After tonight, our Maine State champion will go on to represent our state at the national finals in Washington, D.C. in April, competing for college scholarships and sharing Maine's unique voice on the national stage. I have been an ardent fan of poetry my entire life, and I believe that poetry saves lives. Poetry helps us understand and shape our own stories. It allows us to be seen and to be heard. It helps us to make sense of the world around us. It brings us together, and it can provide solace when we are alone. We need poetry now more than ever before. You're about to hear the voices of remarkable students who, with the unwavering support of their teachers, schools, friends, families, and communities, have poured months of dedication and work into this moment. Their bravery, passion, and artistry will move you, challenge you, and inspire you. So let's give our finalists a big round of applause. I thank you for being here. I wish you very good luck. And now I'd like to introduce our MC, Violet.
All right, hello everybody. I'm going to open us up with a poem. A Wednesday. You fondle and praise, spit, spit, stomp. I am to be your romp, to care and nurture, not like that. Not within sight of the impressionable. I am a cryptid, unknowable, prodded, litigated, desirable, sprawled out on the frigid examining table. You flinch at the shattering of eggshells beneath your feet, the shells you placed. How to hold and cherish me, desecrated. Will you still ogle me when my belly dangs over my waistband? When my chest looks smaller by comparison? You tell me I'm brave, my perception invaluable, but you don't hire me. You're threatened by me? Messy. Caress my hair, tease my hair, pretty, too pretty, incinerated under Damocles' magnifying glass. Preaches of joy are hoarse, my rage will be coarse, maybe titillating, and funnily enough, intoxicating. Thank you, and good evening. As Amy said, my name is Violet Ferlito. I use she, her, and they, them pronouns, and I am thrilled to host you here tonight. We are here at the Waterville Opera House, located in the homeland of the Wabanaki, the people of the Dawnland. We recognize and honor the Abenaki, Maliseet, Mi'kmaq, Passamaquoddy, and Penobscot nations, and all the Native communities who have lived here for hundreds of generations in what is known today as Maine. We thank Waterville Creates for hosting us in this beautiful space, and we are grateful to their commitment for making space for the Poetry Out Loud State Finals. We are delighted to be joined tonight by students, teachers, and families from all around the state to hear the poems they have chosen to recite at tonight's finals. Poetry Out Loud is funded by the National Endowment for the Arts in partnership with the Maine Arts Commission and the Maine Humanities Council. Tonight, we will hear from all 10 of the students who have advanced to this point in the competition by winning their local and regional competitions. They have worked so hard to be here and have impressed audiences already with their excellence at their regional events. Let's hear it for these students. Every year, teachers and program directors across the state work with students on their journey here. In addition to the students we will see tonight, there are thousands more around the state whose high school experience has been enriched by Maine teachers, librarians, and community group facilitators who have devoted time to Poetry Out Loud programs in their communities. Thank you, educators. We also thank the parents, friends, family members, and all those who have driven students, rehearsed with them, and supported them in so many ways. Maybe some of you have these poems committed to memory by now too. Thank you. Okay, so here is how tonight's event will work. Students have selected all of the poems they will recite tonight from an anthology of poems approved by the National Endowment for the Arts and the Poetry Foundation. They've been memorizing and living with these poems for months. Tonight, there will be 3 rounds of recitations. All 10 students will recite in rounds 1 and 2 in the order listed in the program. Our judges will be given time to score each recitation based on the following criteria: physical presence, voice and articulation, interpretation, evidence of understanding, overall performance, and accuracy. Brief pauses between recitations will allow our judges time to deliberate. After round 2, our judges will tabulate the scores and the top 5 students will be announced. These 5 finalists will recite a third and new poem in round 3. And at the end of round 3, we will announce our Maine State Poetry Out Loud champion and runner-up. Speaking of judges, we are very fortunate to have 4 members of Maine's poetry community here with us tonight to serve as judges. Please note, there has been a change to the program, and CJ Gilligan was unfortunately unable to make it to this evening. We are so thankful to Jefferson Nowicki for serving as a judge for such short notice. Our poetry community is really amazing. So, that being said, Jefferson Nowicki was born in Chicago and grew up in southeastern Ohio. He earned his MFA from the Jack Kerouac School of Disembodied Poetics at Naropa University. He is the author of 4 books, most recently, Head of Island Beautification for the Rural Outlands. A finalist for the 2023 Big Other Book Award for Fiction. Antique Densities, Modern Parables, and Other Experiments in Short Prose won the 2022 Maine Literary Award for Poetry. Jefferson's work has received several acknowledgments and awards, including an American Rescue Plan Maine Project Grant, a Maine Arts Commission grant, and 3 Maine Literary Awards. His plays have been produced throughout New England. Jefferson serves the New England poetry community in a variety of capacities, including as member of the steering committee for the Belfast Poetry Festival, as interviews editor for the Cafe Review, as prose poetry editor for the Hole in the Head Review, and as a member of the board of Millay House Rockland. He has taught writing as a longtime adjunct faculty member at Southern Maine Community College as a visiting professor at Bates College, and many times throughout Maine Writers and Publishers Alliance. Thank you. Arisa White is an associate professor of English and creative writing at Colby College. She's the author of Who's Your Daddy, co-editor of Home is Where You Queer Your Heart, and co-author of Biddy Mason Speaks Up, the second book in the Fighting for Justice series for young readers. In collaboration with composer Jessica Jones, Postpartum, the opera marked Arisa's debut as a librettist. Her poetry is widely published, and her collections have been nominated for both the NAACP Image Award and the Lambada Literary Award. She has won the Per Diem Poetry Prize, the Maine Literary Award, the Nautilus Book Award, an Independent Publisher Book Award, the Golden Crown Literary Award, and the Airlie Press Prize. The poem installation, Look After Your Heart, is permanently displayed at the Coastal Maine Botanical Gardens. She is a Cave Canem Fellow and serves on the Community Advisory Board for Maine Writers and Publishers Alliance. You can find more of her work at arisawhite.com. Thank you, Arisa. Katie Joyce Boulay is a writer, mixed media artist, mother, and speech-language pathologist. Her writing has been published in Down East, Maine Magazine, and Literary Mama. Among others, she believes in the power of the arts to build community, strengthen identity, and foster self-care and healing. Past projects include co-hosting a local writing workshop series, culminating in the chapbook, Writing Waterville, and leading kids' poetry workshops. She currently facilitates a series of community art play dates for preschoolers and their caregivers as part of the Maine Creates, funded by the Maine Arts Commission. Her current personal practice explores the melding of visual art and language, which she shares through her Familiar Magic Press. Thank you, Katie. And lastly, we have Annalise Giacomides is our accuracy judge. Annalise makes poems, art, and stories, true and un, from her memory bank of scrappy Boston. Her first-generation refugee family, decades living on the land in northern Maine, and more. More than 1,000 short works have appeared in many venues, including print, stage, and radio. Cited in national competitions, the 4-time finalist for the Maine Literary Awards is co-founder of the Belfast Poetry Festival, serves on MWPA's CAP, and is a member of Bangor Authors Collaborative. A freelance copy editor, she lives in an apartment overlooking the library in downtown Bangor. Thank you. And seated in the front row, you will see our official prompter, Martha Piskakas. Martha is a program director at the Maine Arts Commission. Her parents were a librarian and a football coach, and somehow they produced 5 visual artists. Her second grade teacher taught the whole class to recite a poem together, which they performed on TV. She does not remember it now. They will be here to provide prompting to any students who need assistance. If you need her assistance, you can signal her for a prompt by looking directly at her. Thank you, Martha. We're just about there, I promise. There are a few simple ground rules for the audience. Please silence your cell phones and other devices. No flash photography, and if you need to leave, please enter or exit the theater only during applause breaks. And now, let's get to the first round of recitations from our students. So, our first participant is Andrew Whitmore from South Portland High School. She is an avid member of drama, where she is part of the ensemble for her school's musical, Chicago. Her favorite subjects in school are history, English, and biology. And when she's not in school, she likes to write stories, read, travel, fish, and watch movies. Welcome, Andrew.
From One Who Stays by Amy Lowell. How empty seems the town now you are gone, a wilderness of sad streets where gaunt walls hide nothing to desire. Sunshine falls, eerie, distorted, as it long had shone on white, dead faces tombed in halls of stone. The whir of motors stricken through with calls of playing boys floats up at intervals. But all these noises blur to one long moan. What quest is worth pursuing? And how strange that other men still go accustomed ways. I hate their interest in the things they do. A specter horde, repeating without change, an old routine. Alone, I know the days are stillborn, and the world stopped, lacking you.
Thank you, Andrew. Our next reciter, Persephone Kilcollins from Fort Kent, Community High School. Persephone has been creating for as long as she can remember. She has dreams of becoming an artist, author, and a musician. Her three best friends, Charlotte, Destiny, and Jaylyn, have been with her every step of the way, and she doesn't know how she would do it without them. In her spare time, you'll find her practicing for an upcoming concert, lost in a novel, or writing something of her own. All right, Persephone, please come to the stage.
The Widow's Lament in Springtime by William Carlos Williams. Sorrow is my own yard, where the new grass flames as it has flamed often before, but not with the cold fire that closes round me this year. 35 years I live with my husband. The plum tree is white today, with masses of flowers load the cherry branches and color some bushes yellow and some red. But the grief in my heart is stronger than they. For though they were my joy formerly, today I notice them and turn away, forgetting. Today, my son told me that in the meadows, at the edge of the heavy woods in the distance, he saw trees of white flowers. I feel that I would like to go there and fall into those flowers and sink into the marsh near them.
Awesome. Thank you, Persephone. Next, we will welcome Silver Lynn Smith, who is homeschooled. Silver Lynn Smith loves cute outfits, sound theory, and drama, as in theater most of the time. Silver isn't sure what she aspires to be yet, but she thinks she's pretty close. All right, Silver, please join us on the stage.
Why We Oppose Women Traveling in Railway Trains by Alice Stewart Miller. 1. Because traveling in trains is not a natural right. 2. Because our great-grandmothers never asked to travel in trains. 3. Because woman's place is the home, not the train. 4. Because it's unnecessary, there is no point reached by train that cannot be reached on foot. 5, because it will double the work of conductors, engineers, and brakemen who are already overburdened. 6, because men smoke and play cards in trains. Is there any reason to believe that women will behave better?
Thank you, Silver. Next on the microphone, we will welcome Celestine Luzitu of Portland High School, who enjoys expressing herself when she cannot find the right words. Her favorite subject is math. She enjoys solving problems. She finds joy playing soccer and hopes to inspire others to try new things. All right, please come up to the stage, Celestine.
Little Tree by E.E. Cummings. Little tree, little silent Christmas tree. You are so little. You are more like a flower. Who found you in the green forest? And were you very sorry to come away? See, I will comfort you because you smell so sweetly. I will kiss your cool bark and hide you safe and tight, just as your mother would. Only don't be afraid. Look, the spangles that sleep all the year in the dark box, dreaming of being taken out and allowed to shine. The balls, the chains, red and gold, the fluffy threads. Put up your little arms and I'll give them all to you to hold. Every finger shall have its ring, and there won't be a single place dark or unhappy. Then, when you're quite dressed, you stand in the window for everyone to see and how they will stare. Oh, but you'll be very proud, and my little sister and I will take hands, and looking up at our beautiful tree, we'll dance and sing, Noel, Noel. Thank you.
Thank you, Celestine. Our next participant, Dashiell Legavitz, is a sophomore at Mount Art High School. Some of his favorite subjects include AP Human Geography, and English. In his free time, Dashiell enjoys playing music in his band and watching films. All right, please come to the stage.
Why We Oppose Pockets for Women by Alice Duer Miller. 1. Because pockets are not a natural right. 2. Because the great majority of women do not want pockets. If they did, they would have them. 3. Because whenever women have had pockets, they have not used them. 4. Because women are required to carry enough things as it is, without the additional burden of pockets. 5. Because it would make dissension between husband and wife as to whose pockets were to be filled. 6. Because it would destroy man's chivalry toward woman if he did not have to carry all her things in his pockets. 7. Because men are men and women are women. We must not fly in the face of nature. 8. Because pockets have been used by men to carry tobacco, pipes, whiskey flasks, chewing gum, and compromising letters. We see no reason to suppose that women would use them more wisely.
Thank you, Dashiell. Our next reciter is Pax Horn of Haledale High School. Pax is an avid poet who has been reading and writing poetry since he was very young. He recently published his first poem in a queer youth anthology contest. In school, Pax enjoys biology and chemistry. He is part of the theater program, civil rights team, and president of the GSTA. When he's not studying for his next test, Pax enjoys reading, crafting, and snuggling with his dog, Tater. Please come to the stage, Pax.
Come, Let Us Be Friends by Sarah Lee Brown Fleming. Come, let us be friends, you and I. E'en though the world doth hate at this hour, Let's bask in the sunlight of a love so high that war cannot dim it with all its armed power. Come, let us be friends, you and I. The world hath her surplus of hatred today. She needeth more love. See, she droops with a sigh, where her axis doth slant in the sky far away. Come, let us be friends, you and I, and love each other so deep and so well that the world may grow steady and forward fly, lest she wander towards chaos and drop into hell.
Thank you, Pax. Next, we are going to welcome Cole Hickey to the stage of Gardner Area High School. Cole is excited to compete tonight. He's a proud member of Gardner's Drama Club and Guitar Club. He hopes to one day grace the big screen in a blockbuster movie. He will attend Bowdoin College in the fall, where he intends to study biochemistry. He'd like to thank everyone who supported him along the way. All right, Cole, please come to the stage.
Ball's Bluff by Herman Melville. A Reverie, October 1861. One noonday at my window in the town, I saw a sight, saddest that eyes can see. Young soldiers marching lustily unto the wars, with fifes and flags and mottoed pageantry, while all the porches, walks, and doors were rich with ladies cheering royally. They moved like Juny morning on the wave. Their hearts were fresh as clover in its prime. It was the breezy summertime. Life throbbed so strong. How should they dream that death in a rosy clime would come to thin their shining throng? Youth feels immortal, like the gods sublime. Weeks passed, and at my window, leaving bed, by night I mused, of easeful sleep bereft, on those brave boys. Ah, war, thy theft! Some marching feet found pause at last by cliff's Potomac cleft. Wakeful, I mused, while in the street far footfalls died away till none were left.
Thank you, Cole. Next, please welcome Megan Rivard, a senior at Maine Arts Academy, where she serves as student body president. She spends most of her time participating in community theater productions. Aside from that, she enjoys reading, watching movies, and playing board games. She plans on going to college for communications or journalism. All right, please come to the stage.
Little Tree by E.E. Cummings. Little tree, little silent Christmas tree, you are so little. You are more like a flower. Who found you in the green forest? And were you very sorry to come away? See, I will comfort you, because you smell so sweetly. I will kiss your cool bark and hug you safe and tight, just as your mother would, Only don't be afraid. Look, the spangles that sleep all the year in a dark box, dreaming of being taken out and allowed to shine. The balls, the chains, red and gold, the fluffy threads. Put up your little arms and I'll give them all to you to hold. Every finger shall have its ring, and there won't be a single place dark or unhappy. Then, when you are quite dressed, you will stand in the window for everyone to see. And how they'll stare. Oh, but you'll be very proud. And my little sister and I will take hands, and looking up at our beautiful tree, we'll dance and sing, Noel, Noel.
Thank you, Megan. Participating next is Aaron Sussman of Carrabeck High School. Aaron is an avid reader and enjoys the works of H.P. Lovecraft and Edgar Allan Poe. He also loves Vincent Price's reading of Edgar Allan Poe's The Conqueror Worm. He says he plays percussion in his school's modern rock and concert bands and can be found after school participating in the theater program, preparing for the Maine Drama Festival to perform a play he wrote and directed. He has 2 overweight cats and a pair of energetic labs with a talent for finding and eating gross things. He loves music of all kinds and was recently accepted into the audio engineering program at Husson University. Please come up to the stage.
The Maldive Shark by Herman Melville. About the shark, phlegmatical one, pale sot of the Maldive Sea. The sleek little pilot fish, azure and slim, how alert in attendance be. From his saw pit of mouth, from his charnel of maw, they have nothing of harm to dread, but liquidly glide on his ghastly flank, or before his Gorgonian head, or lurk in the port of serrated teeth, in white triple tiers of glittering gates, and there find a haven when peril's abroad, an asylum in jaws of the fates. They are friends, and friendly they guide him to prey, yet never partake of the treat. Eyes and brains to the dotard, lethargic, and dull, pale ravener of horrible meat.
Thank you, Aaron. Now, for our final reader in this round is Aaron Tiro, a student at Waterville High School. Aaron plays multiple instruments there. He started playing the violin at a young age, but recently switched to the double bass, which he is much happier playing. In his free time, he enjoys playing video games, watching TV, and trying his best not to rot away in bed. Please come to the stage, Aaron.
Fable by Ralph Waldo Emerson. The mountain and the squirrel had a quarrel, and the former said to the latter, "Little prig." Bun replied, "You are doubtless very big, but all sorts of things and weather must be taken in together to make up a year and a sphere, and I think it no disgrace to occupy my place. If I'm not so large as you, you are not so small as I, and not half so spry. I'll not deny you make a very pretty squirrel track. Talents differ, all's well and wisely put. If I cannot carry forests on my back, neither can you crack a nut."
Thank you, Aaron, and thank you to all of our students. This concludes round 1 of recitations. We'll take a 10-minute break and come back for round 2.
You are watching the Maine Poetry Out Loud State Finals on Boothbay Region Television. This program is being televised before a live audience from the Waterville Opera House in downtown Waterville, Maine.
Everyone ready for another round of great poetry recitations? All right. So we will proceed in the same order as previously, which means we will begin round 2 of tonight's event by welcoming Andrew Whitmore of South Portland High School back to the stage. Please come on up, Andrew.
Let No Charitable Hope by Eleanor Wiley. Now let no charitable hope confuse my mind with images of eagle and of antelope. I am by nature none of these. I was being human born alone. I am being woman hard beset. I live by squeezing from a stone the little nourishment I get. In masks outrageous and austere, the years go by in single file. But none has merited my fear, and none has quite escaped my smile.
Thank you, Andrew. All right, Persephone, please come back up to the stage.
Fruit of the Flower by County Cullen. My father is a quiet man with sober, steady ways. For simile, a folded fan. His nights are like his days. My mother's life is Puritan, no hint of cavalier. A pool so calm you're sure it can have little depth to fear. And yet my father's eyes can boast how full his life has been. There haunts them yet the languid ghost of some still sacred sin. And though my mother, sorry, so still sacred sin. And though my mother chants of God and of the mystic river, I've seen a bit of checkered sod set all her flesh a-quiver. Who plants a seed begets a bud, extract of that same root. Why marvel at the hectic blood that flushes this wild fruit?
Thank you, Persephone. All right, Silver, please come back to the stage.
Fire and Ice by Robert Frost. Some say the world will end in fire. Some say in ice. From what I've tasted of desire, I hold with those who favor fire. But if it had to perish twice, I think I know enough of hate to know that for destruction, ice is also great and would suffice.
Thank you, Silver. Please come back up to the stage, Celestine.
A prayer by Joseph Simon Carter Jr. As I lie in bed, flat on my back, there passes across my ceiling an endless panorama of things. Quick steps of gay-voiced children, adolescence and into wandering silences. Maid and men on moonlit summer's eve. Woman in the holy glow of motherhood. Old men gazing silently through the twilight into the beyond. Oh God, give me words to make my dream children live.
Thank you, Celestine. Please come back to the stage, Dashiell.
My Papa's Waltz by Theodore Roethke. The whiskey on your breath could make a small boy dizzy, but I hung on like death. Such waltzing was not easy. We romped until the pans slid from the kitchen shelf. My mother's countenance could not unfrown itself. The hand that held my wrist was battered on one knuckle. At every step you missed, my right ear scraped a buckle. You beat time on my head with a palm caked hard by dirt, then waltzed me off to bed, still clinging to your shirt.
Thank you, Dashiell. Please come back to the stage, Pax.
Casey at the Bat by Ernest Lawrence Thayer. The outlook wasn't brilliant for the Mudville Nine that day. The score stood 4-2 with but one inning more to play. And then, when Cooney died at first and Barrows did the same, a pall-like silence fell upon the patrons of the game. A straggling few got up to go in deep despair. The rest clung to the hope which springs eternal in the human breast. They thought, if only Casey could but get a whack at that, we'd put up even money now with Casey at the bat. But Flynn preceded Casey, as did also Jimmy Blake. And the former was a hoodoo, while the latter was a cake. So upon that stricken multitude, grim melancholy sat, for there seemed but little chance of Casey getting to the bat. But Flynn let drive a single, to the wonderment of all, and Blake, the much despised, tore the cover off the ball. And when the dust had lifted, and men saw what had occurred, there was Jimmy safe at second, and Flynn hugging third. Then from 5,000 throats and more there rose a lusty yell. It rumbled in the valley, it rattled in the dell. It pounded on the mountain and recoiled upon the flat. For Casey, mighty Casey, was advancing to the bat. There was ease in Casey's manner as he stepped into his place. There was pride in Casey's bearing and a smile at Casey's face. And when, responding to the cheers, he lightly doffed his hat, no stranger in the crowd could doubt 'twas Casey at the bat. 10,000 eyes were on him as he rubbed his hands with dirt. 5,000 tongues applauded when he wiped them on his shirt. Then while the writhing pitcher ground the ball into his hip, defiance flashed in Casey's eye, a sneer curled Casey's lip. And now the leather-covered sphere came hurtling through the air, and Casey stood a-watching it in haughty grandeur there, Close by the sturdy batsman, the ball unheeded sped. "That ain't my style," said Casey. "Strike one," the umpire said. From the benches, black with people, there went up a muffled roar, like the beating of the storm waves on a stern and distant shore. "Kill him! Kill the umpire!" shouted someone on the stand, and it's likely they'd have killed him had not Casey raised his hand. With a smile of Christian charity, great Casey's visage shone. He stilled the rising tumult. He bade the game go on. He signaled to the pitcher, and once more the dun sphere flew. But Casey still ignored it, and the umpire said, "Strike two!" "Fraud!" cried the maddened thousands, and echo answered, "Fraud!" But one scornful look from Casey, and the audience was awed. They saw his face grow stern and cold. They saw his muscles strain, and they knew that Casey wouldn't let that ball go by again. The sneer is gone from Casey's lip. His teeth are clenched in hate. He pounds with cruel violence his bat upon the plate. And now the pitcher holds the ball, and now he lets it go, and now the air is shattered by the force of Casey's blow. Oh, somewhere in this favored land, the sun is shining bright. The band is playing somewhere, and somewhere hearts are light, and somewhere men are laughing, and somewhere children shout. But there is no joy in Mudville. Mighty Casey has struck out.
Thank you, Pax. Reciting next, we will welcome back to the stage Cole Hickey of Gardner Area High School.
Chicago by Carl Sandburg. Hog butcher for the world, tool maker, stacker of wheat, player with railroads, and the nation's freight handler. Stormy, husky, brawling, city of the big shoulders. They tell me you are wicked, and I believe them. For I have seen your painted women under the gas lamps luring the farm boys. And they tell me you are crooked, and I answer, yes, it is true, I have seen the gunmen kill and go free to kill again. And they tell me you are brutal, and my reply is, on the faces of women and children, I have seen the marks of wanton hunger. And having answered so, I turn once more to those who sneer at this, my city, and I give them back the sneer and say to them, come and show me another city with lifted head, singing so proud to be alive, and coarse and strong and cunning, flinging magnetic curses amid the toil of piling job on job. Here is a tall, bold slugger, set vivid against the little, soft cities. Fierce as a dog with tongue lapping for action, cunning as a savage pitted against the wilderness. Bareheaded, shoveling, wrecking, planning, building, breaking, rebuilding. Under the smoke, dust all over his mouth, laughing with white teeth. Under the terrible burden of destiny, laughing as a young man laughs, laughing even as an ignorant fighter laughs who has never lost a battle, bragging and laughing that under his wrist is the pulse, and under his ribs the heart of the people, laughing the stormy, husky, brawling laughter of youth, half naked, sweating, proud to be. Hog butcher, tool maker, stacker of wheat, player with railroads, and freight handler to the nation.
Thank you, Cole. Next up, we will welcome back Megan Rivard of Maine Arts Academy. Please welcome back to the stage, Megan Rivard.
Two by Sarah Helen Whitman. Vainly, my heart had with thy sorcery striven. It had no refuge from thy love, no heaven, but in thy fatal presence. From afar, it owned thy power and trembled like a star o'erfraught with light and splendor. Could I deem how dark a shadow should obscure its beam? Could I believe that pain could ever dwell where thy bright presence cast its blissful spell? Thou wert my proud palladium. Could I fear the avenging destinies when thou wert near? Thou wert my destiny. Thy song, thy fame, the wild enchantments clustering round thy name were my soul's heritage, its royal dower, its glory and its kingdom and its power.
Thank you, Megan. Joining us once again will be Erin Suzman of Carabec High School. Please come back to the stage, Erin.
The Rubinstein Staccato Etude by R. Nathaniel Dett. Staccato, staccato, leggier agitato. In and out does the melody twist. Unique proposition is this composition. Alas, for the player who hasn't the wrist. Now in the dominant theme ringing prominent, bass still repeating its one monotone. Double notes crying, up, keyboard go flying. The change to the minor comes in like a groan. Without a cessation, a chaste modulation hastens a down to subdominant key, where melody mellow-like, singing so cello-like, rises and falls in a wild ecstasy. Scarce is this finished when chords all diminished break loose in a patter that comes down like rain, a pedal point wonder, rivaling thunder. Now all is mad agitation again. Like laughter jolly begins the finale. Again does the cello its tone seem to lend, diminuendo ad molto crescendo. Ah, Rubinstein only could make such an end.
Thank you, Erin. And rounding out round two, we will once more welcome back to the microphone Erin Terrio of Waterville Senior High School. Please come back to the stage, Erin.
Incurable by Dorothy Parker. And if my heart be scarred and burned, the safer I for all I learned, the calmer I to see it true that ways of love are never new. The love that sets you daft and dazed is every love that ever blazed. The happier I to fathom this, a kiss is every other kiss. The reckless vow, the lovely name, when Helen walked where spoke the same. The weighted breast, the grinding woe, when Phaon fled were ever so. Oh, it is sure, as it is sad, that any lad is every lad. And what's a girl to dare implore her dear be hers forevermore? Though he be tried and he be bold, and swearing death should he be cold, he'll run the path the others went. But you, my sweet, are different.
Thank you, Erin, and once again, thank you to all of our students. We will take another, oh yeah, please, round of applause. We will take another 10-minute break, and when we return, we'll announce our top 5 finalists and begin round 3 of our Poetry Out Loud State Finals recitations. So please plan to be back in here at 5:24. Thank you.
You are watching the Maine Poetry Out Loud State Finals on Boothbay Region Television. This program is being televised before a live audience from the Waterville Opera House in downtown Waterville, Maine.
Before we announce the top 5 finalists to recite in round 3, let's take a moment to recognize every student who has recited for us tonight. You should all be immensely proud of yourselves. It is very difficult to be doing this. Congratulations to all of you for making it this far as a Poetry Out Loud Maine State finalist. And now, the students who will recite for us in round 3 in alphabetical order. Pax Horn, Dashiell Legowitz, Megan Rivard, Erin Terrio, and Andrew Whitmore. Please give them a round of applause. So, without further ado, once again, please welcome Pax Horn to the stage.
Nothing to Do by James Ephraim McGirt. The fields are white, the laborers are few, yet say the idle, there's nothing to do. Jails are crowded, in Sunday schools few, we still complain, there's nothing to do. Drunkards are dying, your sons, it is true. Mother's arms folded with nothing to do. Heathens are dying. Their blood falls on you. How can you people find nothing to do?
Thank you, Pax. Please come back to the stage, Dashiell.
The Rubinstein Staccato Etude by R. Nathaniel Dett. Staccato, staccato, leger agitato, in and out does the melody twist. Unique proposition is this composition, alas for the player who hasn't the wrist. Now in the dominant, theme ringing prominent, bass still repeating its one monotone. Double notes crying, up keyboard go flying. The change to the minor comes in like a groan. Without a cessation, a chaste modulation hastens it down to subdominant key, where melody mellow-like, singing so cello-like, rises and falls in a wild ecstasy. Scarce is this finished, when chords all diminished break loose in a patter that comes down like rain, a pedal point wonder, rivaling thunder. Now all is mad agitation again. Like laughter, jolly, begins the finale. Again does the cello its tones seem to lend, diminuendo ad molto crescendo. Rubinstein only could make such an end.
Thank you, Dashiell. Please return to the stage, Megan.
Our Own 12 Anti-Suffragist Reasons by Alice Duer Miller. 1. Because no woman will leave her domestic duties to vote. 2. Because no woman who may vote will attend to her domestic duties. 3. Because it will make dissension between husband and wife. 4. Because every woman will vote as her husband tells her to. 5. Because bad women will corrupt politics. 6. Because bad politics will corrupt women. 7. Because women have no power of organization. 8. Because women will form a solid party and outvote men. 9. Because men and women are so different that they must stick to different duties. 10. Because men and women are so much alike that men, with one vote each, can represent their own views and ours too. 11. Because women cannot use force. 12. Because the militants did use force.
Please welcome Erin back to the stage.
Israfel by Edgar Allan Poe. And the angel Israfel, whose heartstrings are a lute, and who has the sweetest voice of all God's creatures. Quran. In heaven a spirit doth dwell, whose heartstrings are a lute. None sings so wildly well as the angel Israfel. And the giddy stars, so legends tell, ceasing their hymns, attend the spell of his voice, all mute. Tottering above in her highest noon, the enamored moon blushes with love, while, to listen, the red levin, with the rapid Pleiades even, which were 7, pauses in heaven. And they say, the starry choir and the other listening things, that Israfeli's fire is owing to that lyre by which he sits and sings, the trembling, living wire of those unusual strings. But the skies that angel trod, where deep thoughts are a duty, where love's a grown-up God, where the houri glances are imbued with all the beauty which we worship in a star. Therefore, thou art not wrong, Israfeli, who despisest an unimpassioned song. To thee the laurels belong, best bard, because the wisest. Merrily live and long. The ecstasies above, with thy burning measures suit, thy grief, thy joy, thy hate, thy love. With the fervor of thy lute, well may the stars be mute. Yes, heaven is thine. But this is a world of sweets and sours. Our flowers are merely flowers, and the shadow of thy perfect bliss is the sunshine of ours. If I could dwell where Israfel hath dwelt, and he where I might not sing so wildly well a mortal melody, while a bolder note than this might swell from my lyre within the sky.
Thank you, Aaron. And closing us out, instead of starting us off, we will be welcoming Andrew Whitmore back to the stage in just a moment. Andrew, welcome back to the stage.
Before a painting by James Weldon Johnson, I knew not who had wrought with skill so fine what I beheld, nor by what laws of art he had created life and love and heart on canvas from mere color, curve, and line. Silent I stood and made no move or sign, not with the crowd, but reverently apart, nor felt the power my rooted limbs to start, but mutely gazed upon that face divine. And over me the sense of beauty fell, as music over a raptured listener to the deep-voiced organ breathing out a hymn, or as one who kneels, his beads to tell. There falls the aureate glory, filtered through the windows of some old cathedral dim.
Thank you, Andrew, and thank you to all the students once again. The judges have a bit of work to do that I do not envy. So while they tally up the scores, we will take one last 10-minute break.
You are watching the Maine Poetry Out Loud State Finals on Boothbay Region Television. This program is being televised before a live audience from the Waterville Opera House in downtown Waterville, Maine.
We are so proud of all of you, and we want to take a moment to really celebrate all of your hard work that brought you here tonight. So please, come on up. I will invite you all to return to the audience, but please do not skedaddle yet, as we will all be taking some pictures at the end. But thank you all, and in a moment here, I will read off the poetry winner, so I'll have you all return. I am proud to announce that this year's Poetry Out Loud runner-up is Pax Horn. Congratulations. Congratulations. And lastly, our Poetry Out Loud state champion, headed to national finals in Washington, D.C., will receive a free writing workshop of their choice from Maine Writers and Publishers Alliance. And this trophy, the award goes to Megan Rivard. Please come on up. And now some closing words from Maine Arts Commission Executive Director, Amy Hausman.
Wow. We promised you a great show, and I think that was amazing. Congratulations again to all of the students who are here. I am so overwhelmed every time we do this. It is so incredibly inspiring to see your talent and your dedication and your commitment and your super hard, incredible work that you do to do this. And so we are really deeply grateful, all of us. What you have done has raised hope and optimism in our hearts, and we're very thankful. I also want to take a special moment to thank the teachers and the principals and the superintendents and the school staff who guide and support these students every single day. Let's give them a round of applause. And to all of you friends and family and community members who have helped to support these students, thank you for listening to them rehearse and rehearse and rehearse, and for goading them on sometimes, I'm sure, and encouraging them to do their very best. Thank you so much to all of you. Before we officially close out the 2026 Poetry Out Loud celebration, we want to express our deep gratitude to our partners at the Maine Humanities Council and to our regional partners who helped us bring this project to life. Elise Kane at the Mark and Emily Turner Library in Presque Isle, the Public Theater in Lewiston, Dr. Miriam Udebor at the Southern Regional Final MC, our friends at Next Generation Theater in Brewer, John Bear Mitchell, Teacher of the Year and Central Regional MC, our media partner who's here tonight, Booth Bay Regional TV, who's live streaming this for us and recording it, which is really exciting. Our Maine State Poet Laureate, Julia Bosma. To our wonderful MC, let's give it up for Violet for being here tonight. Thank you, Violet. So great. And also thank you so much to our judges. This is a very hard task, and we are so grateful to our judges, to our accuracy coach, to our prompter, to the folks who are filming. Thank you so much. I'd like to thank our Maine Arts Commissioners, some of whom are here tonight, and for our really incredible staff who pours everything into this program, especially Christina Karash and Maya Williams, who are both here. Thank you both so much for your work. This team has been instrumental in bringing this entire event together every single year, and we are so proud to do it, and we look forward to doing it again next year. I would offer a special invitation to each of you on Friday, April 3rd, at the State House in Augusta. We will be celebrating National Poetry Month, and we will be inviting our Poetry Out Loud competitors to come to join us. We'll be hearing from our Poet Laureate, and we will be announcing our next Poet Laureate, who will be serving for the next 5 years. So we hope that you will join us from 1 to 4 on April 3rd in Augusta. So please be with us then. Before we go, I'm going to invite all of the competitors, all 10 of you, to come up to the stage. We want to take some photos, so don't grab them yet. We want you to come on up here for just a second. And finally, I will say, I encourage you all, each one of you, to carry a poem with you. Instead of doom scrolling on your phone or watching TV, memorize a poem. Recite it in the shower, or to your dog, or to your cat, or to your family. Poetry will always make us feel better, and it always brings us together, and you demonstrated that tonight, and we're really grateful to you. So thank you all so much for being part of this celebration. Thank you to the Waterville Opera House for hosting us. We look forward to seeing you all next year.
You are watching the Maine Poetry Out Loud State Finals on Booth Bay Region Television. This program is being televised before a live audience from the Waterville Opera House in downtown Waterville, Maine.